The Roaring Twenties, the beginning of modern America. Life and culture changed and became modernized in America in the 1920s. Urbanization. For the first time, more Americans lived in cities than in rural areas. Large migrations of blacks to the cities brought new musical styles and helped change America into a modern urban culture. An age of prosperity, economic growth, economic expansion, millionaires, new industries growing, making people rich, making America rich, even a new middle class. Mass production was one of the reasons behind this economic expansion. Kumetaterein, assembly line production, mass production of automobiles and other goods. Assembly line production, mass production, large-scale volume. Especially the automobile industry led the way with Ford Motor Company. The age of the automobile. And of course, the automobile completely transformed American life. As America became rich and urbanized and modern, there was a reaction against it. Urban culture, Hollywood movies, automobiles, refrigerators. But some people did not like this new modern life, new morality, new fashions, new gender roles. Ku Klux Klan were against these immigrant groups like the Catholics and Jews, as well as black people. The USA becomes at this time the richest nation in the world. Europe is destroyed because of World War I. Throughout the 1920s, continual GDP growth, a rise in wages, a new middle class, income levels rise, until, of course, the Great Depression ended that in 1929. It's the Jazz Age, new musical forms coming out of urban centers like New York and Chicago, Detroit, jazz music, the influence of black musicians from the South. Modern America is born at this time as an urban society, a change in population from rural to urban. And very important were the changes for women. The 1920s also brought about great changes for women. The 19th Amendment to the Constitution gave a new law giving women the right to vote in 1920, reflecting the changing ideas about women, changing gender roles. The new woman, new fashion, bobbed hair, short dresses, smoke cigarettes in public, new gender roles. We can see this in the Hollywood movies from the time. The new women of the 1920s, women were becoming more independent, achieving greater freedoms, the right to vote, more and better employment, and the freedom which the automobile gave, transportation. People could go anywhere, anytime they wanted. The flapper was the new type of woman, an urban woman, a dancer, dances to jazz music in the clubs, smoked cigarettes, wore new fashions, reflecting changing values, changing morality. Not everyone was happy. Economically, very important time. A new consumer economy developed at this time. Lots of new consumer goods, mass-produced goods, tools and appliances for the kitchen. People had more money, so they could buy toasters and telephones. And the radio, a new type of entertainment. Along with Hollywood movies comes the radio, the age of the radio. Although print media like newspapers were popular, radio was the most powerful communication medium to emerge in the 1920s. Everyone had a radio and everyone went to the movies, and the dissemination, the spread of culture through radio and movies was very important. The Jazz Singer, 1927. Silent movies were popular until 1927. The Jazz Singer was the first talking movie. Charlie Chaplin was incredibly popular all over the world. And the talkies, 1927, the first talkie movies. Glamorous movie stars like Mary Pickford, Al Jolson. And of course, the young 25-year-old pilot made world history, the first transatlantic flight alone. He flew from the east coast of America, New Jersey, to Paris alone, initiating the age of air travel in America and around the world. Celebrities, the age of celebrities, baseball stars, movie stars, Charles Lindbergh flying across the Atlantic, boxers. Again, Charles Lindbergh, very important historical person. And at this time, a lot of anti-Asian feelings, a little bit Hawaii, but especially California and the West Coast against Chinese and Japanese immigrants who are rising economically, leading to discrimination and eventually the ending of immigration. In 1924, a quota system was started, basically ending all immigration from Asia. So May 26th has become a national day of humiliation in Japan because Japanese immigration was stopped because of discrimination in America. The Ku Klux Klan hated black people and Catholics and Italians and Jews and non-white people. Even today there's Ku Klux Klan in America. Anti-immigrant, anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic, anti-Catholic. Against women's right to vote, anti-women's suffrage, against the right for women to have power. They wanted to return to a traditional America. They didn't like these changes. The monkey trial, very famous trial, evolution, Shinkaron, against creationism, which is the Bible idea that God created man and women, and the new science of evolution. Religious people didn't like that. Even today, in America, there's a conflict even today between science and religion in American culture. You have the Bible, which says one thing, and scientific research, which has a different idea. It was a famous case, famous lawyers arguing against the school teacher to support the clash or conflict between science and religion, a battleground in the 1920s between fundamentalist religious groups who believe the Bible is the true word of God, and science, which has a different approach. A lot of conflict. This was the school teacher, John Scopes, who was teaching Shinkaron, evolutionary theory, and he was arrested by the police because in the state of Tennessee, you were not allowed to teach evolution because it was against religion, against the Christian Bible. It became a famous case reflecting the conflict of the age between traditional religion and modern science. Prohibition in this period in the 1920s, a new law making it illegal to make, sell, or transport liquor, which was not successful. People wanted to drink. Prohibition did not succeed. FBI agents tried to break up and arrest people making liquor, but they were not successful. So, interesting part of 1920s history. Gangsters made a lot of money selling alcohol illegally because of Prohibition, Al Capone, murders, and a lot of money was involved with illegal sale of liquor. A lot of stories, Hollywood movies about the organized crime, early mafia, who became rich in Chicago and other places. In conclusion, American life changed radically in the 1920s, so much. The automobile, Hollywood movies, jazz music, new fashions, a new urban culture. Modern America was born. The modern age was born.